fact that this election is between...
They sold farm recently for 100 million.
There's no meaningful development that can happen without peace, without us being united.
Arrest all unregistered vehicles.
I think we have shown the depth and breadth of talent in our Conservative Party.
Because you want to prevent a situation whereby that powdering substance will be flushed immediately.
Today, we'll be looking at this particular conversation in the first part of the program, Straight Talk right here on Bright Television, the home of talk and entertainment. And to do justice to this particular conversation this morning, he is the head of Media Relations Unit, a Public Relations Division of the DRTS FCT. Now, the DRTS, I beg your pardon, is the Directorate of Road Traffic Services. And I'm talking about OKEREKE Alexander. Welcome to the program this beautiful morning.
Thank you. Good morning, viewers.
All right. I knew you wanted to point out it's not DRTC, it's DRTS.
Yes,
right.
It's DRTS.
DRTS, that's the Directorate of Road
Traffic
Services.
Services.
Now, what are the functions of DRTS? Let's kick off from there.
Okay, DRTS, part of their major functions is motor vehicle administration.
Okay.
And the motor vehicle administration, we have a cardinal responsibility and function of making sure that the roads are safe, the users are safe also. So safety is cardinal as the point as one of our functions. So in motor vehicle administrations, we are involved in training and licensing drivers.
Training and licensing drivers. Wow, interesting.
Yeah, also registering motor vehicles, motorcycles, also inspecting vehicles to ensure that the vehicles are roadworthy. Also, we control traffic on the road and make sure that the traffic is flowing the normal way it's supposed to.
Very important. So thank you so much for at least deliberating and giving us a broad...
More importantly, we also have a duty to educate and enlighten the public about the things they're supposed to know and do while using the road.
I guess that's why we're here now. So let's do the education and let's educate Nigerians. Well, I've had chances, to sit with your sisters. When I say sisters, agencies. Now, I'm talking about the road safety and Corps and a few other persons. Now, any road user that sees you on the road while driving on the way, may see in the uniform, it must first check and balance. Am I accurate? Are my papers complete? Am I not an offender? And few other things. Now, let's look at this offense that triggers, of course, that you look out for every time you see road users on the road. What are the offenses that you you're trying as much as possible to curb as you take your duties?
Okay, we are not actually looking out for offense. Rather, we are trying to maintain orderliness.
Orderliness?
Yeah.
And those that are not obeying your rules and regulations,
yes,
you definitely look out for them.
Yes. For a driver, while we are training and educating them and enlightening them, the first thing a driver should know is that you must be licensed.
Good.
And beyond being licensed, if you must drive, if you must sit behind the wheels, the law demands that you should have your driver's license in possession. Not that you have a driver's license, you
Keep
leave
it
it
at
somewhere, and you are driving, and when you are accosted and you say you have it, the only evidence that you have it while you are driving, is that when you are asked, you produce it. You are producing the original. Yeah, the original.
Okay. You can't have a soft copy on your phone and say, okay, I scanned it and it's on my phone.
No, you see, the issue with, trying to, maybe you have a photocopy, you have a soft copy. In doing that, one or two things may go wrong. I might pick, let me use myself, I might pick my brother's driver's license, which is not actually mine. And probably maybe I'm not licensed, I don't know how to drive. Then if you are using another person's own, you are already infringing on the law. So the law demands that you are with the original. If you must drive, if you are not the one driving, well, you may not have any business. You will not, as a passenger, nobody will ask you to produce your driver's license. But if you are the one that will drive, you must be in possession of your driver's license original.
That's the first important
Yeah, then you make sure that the vehicle you are going to bring to the road is roadworthy. Part of the things, apart from the physical examination, if you have undergone any test, a certification is done, and the certificate is given to you that shows that this vehicle is roadworthy. You are expected to also carry it along, along with their other car papers, before you come to the road. You see, many people take things for granted, many drivers or road users. If they are coming to the road, they now assume that I should be above human, superhuman, to know that your documents are valid. Or you are licensed as a driver because I'm seeing you sitting behind the wheel. No, you have to prove it to me. We don't take things for granted because a lot of people, So what if I accost you and demand to see your driver's license? If you have it, why will you take offense? Or why will you drag your feet in producing it? Yeah, these are the things that if you are the one driving, and I accost you and I say, good morning, sir. Can I see your driver's license? The law demands that you produce it and give it to me. Why? I look at it and I'll make sure that it's valid, it's your own. If there's no other thing, I'll give it back to you.
Well, very interesting. I'm also commend your efforts, and of course your men. You do a great job. Many Nigerians will agree to the fact that you don't take no for an answer, and you always insist on getting the facts correctly. In fact, one of those road traffic agencies that do not take bribe. I should commend you for that. But let's look at a few other things. Many people have said, okay, apart from taking bribe or trying to cost road users, we've seen many people break laws, especially when we have some special numbers, plate numbers like Nigerians will call it. What are the measures that you use in identifying those who are with a real vehicle numbers? The plate numbers itself. We've seen maybe some people collect numbers from the police with some permission to use SWAT. Is it spy? I guess that's what they use.
Okay, spy number, because
some people actually use federal government, state government numbers to use on their private vehicles. How do you identify this? And how do you identify real numbers that are attached to a vehicle?
Okay, those are part of the job we are doing when we are on the road. We make sure that the vehicle is roadworthy, the papers you are having is for that vehicle, the numbers you are carrying is for the vehicle. How do we find out these things? We are not magicians or prophets. We ask some salient questions.
Okay.
The salient question is that if you have a spy number, for instance, there's a forwarding paper, there's a covering paper to that. You don't just put number because you feel a
spy.
You pick it out. No. If you go through the right channel and through the right process, and you have that plate number and it's authentic, there's a covering paper to that. So, and anytime you are going to use the vehicle, you must come along with the covering paper. So if you have spy and I ask you, please can you identify? Then those are the things you bring the paper so that I will now know, check the chassis, the vehicle, is it meant for that vehicle?
All right.
Because criminals also can take advantage.
Exactly. And of course, in curbing crimes in our society, you're part of this strong force. Is it your job to also renew old plate numbers?
Yes.
It's part of
In
your
fact,
job.
everything about plate number registration is done by our agency.
Your agency. All right. Let's look at because most times we see your vehicle, we see your men run after across those motorcycles on the way. What are the laws that they are breaking? Are there rules not to apply to some particular roads in Abuja, Federal Capital Territory, for example? And where are those lines that they don't cross at all?
Yeah, you know that in FCT, especially within the Federal Capital City, the use of a motorcycle for commercial purposes are banned. It's under ban. And we have been trying, we have enlightened, we have made those operating their organizations, trying to explain to them. Yeah, for difficulties of means of movement, means of transportation in rural
settlement
that is not within Federal Capital City, they are allowed to operate.
Okay.
And if you must operate as a commercial motorcycle operator, that motorcycle must be registered and you must have an identification number. Per chance there's any crime or anything that particular operator does, how do you trace him? You find out that many of them, even those operating within the limit of where they are asked to, they don't have that. The motorcycles are not registered. How do you allow such a thing to happen? If you allow it to happen, that means there will be a lot of security implications. So the first thing is that you must register, and register in proper category.
Okay.
Yeah.
Proper categories. What are the categories now?
If you are operating as a commercial motorcycle operator, you must register it as a commercial motorcycle operator, which will be in red number.
Okay. Okay.
And there are papers issued to you.
So for that category now?
Yes. And you must operate within the ambits of the law. If you cross your boundaries, that's where we come in.
Okay. So the boundaries are well slated.
Yeah, apart from if we are doing a kind of enlightenment, we don't punish anybody, we don't impound any motorcycle. But at the point we enlighten you and tell you that don't do this. And you see some people still daring. You know, there are some of them that believe that they can do anything and get away with it. And that's why you see some of them operating where they think that we have gone to sleep. You know, we don't go to sleep. We try to do our job as mandated by the law within the hours that are safe for us to do it. When some of them, we start operating like Inyanya Aziz, up to AYA, beyond AYA, Asokoro. And you'll be asking, does it mean that these people didn't know that Okada, we call it Okada, or motorcycle operation as commercial is banned within this area?
This territory.
And what we tell you that they know, once they sight our men, they will take off dangerously. Even when you are not coming up, for instance, if I'm coming on uniform and once they see, if you see the move, that means they know. It's just impunity. And we cannot allow such level of impunity. Otherwise, our society will be so chaotic, traffic-wise.
Really, I've witnessed in a certain place where these offenders actually attacked some men, your men, and it was terrible. It was worrisome. How do you handle that? And well, it's a double question. And how do you make sure that you sanction these people appropriately? Do you meet their union to actually take this force from them?
Yeah, like I told you, our enlightenment mandates, we enlighten them, we meet their union, we talk with them, we have meeting with them. We tell them what is needed of them to do And they will give you promises. Though I will not say that those breaking the rules, actually some of them might not even belong to those unions. Because first of all, you see some of them not registered. They don't have identification mark, plate number. That means that person will be an issue. Because the first thing that will even authorize you to come to the road is that you have a plate number, you are properly registered, you have your papers.
And you are kitted.
Yes, well kitted, yeah, for safety. You see, most of these people, they don't do the right things. And we continue, it's a continuous process. We continue to engage them through their organizations, through even in their parks. Those we see that they are gathering, we operate and appeal to them that these are the necessary. It's for their good. For instance, if you are operating and you are not well kitted, you are not safety conscious, your life is in danger.
True.
So we tell them the implications of all these things. Then again, when you are enforcing the rules, there's no way those who are not
support of what you do.
Yeah, they are not too, they feel they are infringing on the rules, they will not be your friend. Some of them, I don't know whether they derive special joy in making sure that they flout it, maybe to go and tell some of their colleagues that, yes, we have done it and we can do it. We dare them and they cannot do anything. In such, we still appeal to them to obey the rules, operate within the areas they're supposed to operate, do the right thing. Severally, they have attacked our men on duty, doing their official duty. We try to plead with the general public, especially those who are patronizing them, because I have, in one of the enlightenment, I told them that if they come out and they are not getting those who are patronizing them, they will fizzle out of the business.
Very true.
I also use this opportunity to appeal to the general public that they shouldn't patronize those who are breaking the rules, those who are operating where they are not supposed to operate. Those who are not, do you know how dangerous it can be that you are boarding a motorcycle that doesn't have identification mark, that doesn't have plate number? It can do anything and vanish into the thin air.
And
who will be worse for it? You patronizing them. So before you patronize them, we are not saying you shouldn't patronize, and you shouldn't be desperate for whatever reason. Do the right thing and ensure that also the person who you are patronizing is acting within the ambits of the law. It's law abiding. Somebody who is not a law abiding can do anything.
Very true. Nigerians are listening right now. Definitely. I will not do justice to this interaction with you if I don't ask this question. Now, many people have asked, in fact, when you board a public vehicle or transport, some people quarrel. No, you don't. It's only one person on the front seats. Why are you taking two people? This is overload. This is overload. What exactly is overload? And how do you fight? Do we have this as part of the right for vehicle users? I'm talking about commercial users to take two passengers in the front seat. Very important questions. I know Nigerians are asking. I'm waiting for your answer now.
Yeah, there's law against overloading a vehicle. Whether
two persons in front, is it overloading?
I'm coming. I will throw more light. Okay. Whether you're a private operator or a commercial operator, every vehicle has the capacity of what it can take, be it that you are conveying passengers, human beings, or you are conveying goods.
Goods, yeah.
So in all of them, there are rules. Where you're supposed to carry 3 passengers, for instance, if it's a passenger vehicle and you are conveying passengers, where you're supposed to carry, because in the front for a saloon car is 1 person in the front.
With a driver, that's 2 in front.
Yes.
Okay.
You cannot carry, if you carry 2 passengers in the front, let's even bring reasoning, which is wrong. How do they use safety belt? Do you have 2 safety belts in the passenger side?
Or can I use it together?
No, you cannot. So by the time you are taking 2, most of the drivers, most of those infringing on these rules, they know. They know. They just do it thinking that luck we carry them through, we see them through. But one thing about the law is that you might be breaking the law, going free. Every day might be for your day, then one day is for the owner. I use this medium also to plead with the public, even if you're a passenger. Yes, I know where you are going to is very important, but do the right thing. Most of the passengers also knows that it's wrong to sit in the passenger seat in the front. But they will, maybe out of desperation, they will oblige. When they come in contact with our officers and we are telling them this is wrong, you see some of the passengers being very aggressive, not even the driver, because the driver probably had known that he had done a wrong thing and trying to plead. But pleading, does it correct it?
Yes, we're not.
Good. So the enforcement will correct it. Though for those we see, if it's a minor thing, we admonish you and ask you, don't do this any longer. Always be law abiding. Do you know how disgusting it is when you see some drivers driving against traffic? And how dangerous? Is it that they don't know the dangers involved? Most of them knows that impunity.
Well, you might just not want to blame some persons, because we've seen even the lawmakers also breaking the laws.
Yes, human beings are prone to that.
So we've seen executives, we've seen those in power also breaking the law.
But one thing about the law is that the law, everybody is equal before the law.
Very
so whatever your status is, you are not above the law. Why? Let me tell you why many people think that road traffic officers are harsh. Is that you may think you are one of the high and mighty in the society and you are doing the wrong thing, and our men we insist you do the right thing. And you see some of them, because they feel they are so big, they can flout the law and nothing happens. I will say, no, sir. Please do the right thing. And when you insist, it becomes a problem. But we have it as our mandate. And how should our consciences allow us to allow you to do the right thing, and perhaps life is involved? How will you, can you forgive yourself because you have allowed the wrong thing to be done? And life is involved.
A lot to be said, and I must say a very big thank you to the head media relations unit, public relations division of DRTS FCT, in person of OKEREKE, Alexandra. Thank you so much I know this time is too short for us to have great conversation, but can I ask you a favor again? We'll invite you, we take, even if it is 4 hours, to discuss all your rules and regulations, your operations on this program. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you. Whenever you feel, because it's part of our duty, like I told you, to enlighten the public, and this is one of the mediums that we use in reaching out to a wider listening public. So if you invite us, we will oblige.
Definitely we invite you. Thank you so much for your time once again.
Thank you.